Children should not be expected to protect themselves. We as adults need to protect children. We as adults need to advocate for children. Several years ago, when the whole Penn State incident came out, and we started saying no child should be left alone. And what does that mean? It means that if you have a sports activity and there's one adult and one child, that's unacceptable. It should always be two adults or more children. One child should never be alone in that kind of a setting, one-on-one. And you don't think about that. And even since the Penn State incident, there have been more and more incidents with Olympians being trained, and they're left with a trainer for hours on end. And, you know, in an ideal world, we wouldn't think anything of that. But unfortunately, we need to protect our children. One of the other initiatives that we did is we started a support group for adult survivors of child abuse. And these individuals, it was very difficult for them, one, because they never talked about it before. The public was like, you know, in many ways, it's almost like individuals hear now about domestic violence and or rape or incest. And it always goes back, not always, but in many times it is said, well, you should have had that on, or you shouldn't have been there, or you should have, you know, dressed more conservatively. And it's like, we're blaming the victim instead of blaming the perpetrator? Absolutely not. Not in child abuse. The victim that has been abused, they don't have any recourse because it's an adult that is abusing them. Adults are big, adults have power, adults have authority. Who is a child to say no? And that's why it's so important that we as adults that care about children need to be confident and proactive and make sure that child is never in a situation where they may be harmed by another individual. My oldest son is 43. Back 43 years ago, yes, we talked about body parts and we talked about, you know, what's safe and what isn't safe, but not in a big deal. My grandchildren know their body parts and know the name of their body parts. And why that's important is because if a child has a funny name for a body part and they say to a teacher, oh, Uncle Joe, you know, tickled me da-da-da last night, and it's a funny body part, that teacher isn't going to think anything of it. If a child comes in and says, Uncle Joe tickled my vagina last night, that's going to raise some eyes and something's going to happen. And, you know, that's another little thing that when we're talking with parents, we can educate parents about. And we need to do more of that. We need to get that out there, that these are the little things that are going to protect our child from being abused. And we as adults need to do that.
Hey, this is Aidan Cleghorn, partner with Bell Cornerstone, sponsor of the Faces of Syracuse. Thank you for watching this video. Please click below and subscribe to see more.